Guys, we're back here with another video, and today we're going to be watching an animation that's inappropriate. I'll just show you. Alright, let's get into it.
Barbara Bollier's roll of the dice with Nancy Pelosi's government-run healthcare could close 67 Kansas rural hospitals. Hardly bipartisan, Bollier votes with Democrats 90% of the time. Extreme Barbara Bollier is a bad bet for Kansas.
Hi,
Okay.
my name is Erin, and like
Hi,
everyone
Erin.
else, I had a family. But my older brother ruined everything, and now it's gone. I have two brothers, and we've all shared a room our whole lives. When I turned 16, Damien, the youngest, was 13, and Rick was 18. I started going to bed in my clothes because I felt like I was in danger when I was alone with them. When we were kids, only the younger one bothered me. Damien was always picking his nose, drooling, and worst of all, peeing his bed and running to sleep with me. Once we grew up, the boys still weren't shy around me at all. Damien would run around the room in his underwear, farting and burping, and throwing his smelly
Sounds like
socks
my boys.
everywhere. At least he stopped wetting the bed. And Rick would constantly talk about his girlfriends in front of me, look at his abs in the mirror, and it always seemed like his underwear was stifling him, too. For mornings, I had to set my alarm for 6 o'clock to get up earlier than the boys, so I could shower and get dressed without them messing with me. My stupid little brother would often play tricks on me and hide my bra under his mattress. One time,
That's
I
weird.
couldn't find it anywhere and yelled at both of them and told them that sometimes it seemed like they weren't even related to me because they were such idiots. Then
Sorry.
Rick
It's
grinned
getting a
and
little hard
uttered,
on my neck.
"That's right,
So yeah.
we're not related. You were adopted when you were 3. No freaking way! He said it just like that. He just kept chewing his gum and chatting online with another one of his girls. I burst into tears. Of course. It turned out that my parents really had adopted me when I was a child. I was in shock. For over a month, I couldn't face the reality of it. I was at
Man,
least a little glad that
it does
dumb
feel that way.
Damien wasn't related to me. I had become just a girl sharing a room with 2 guys.
Okay, that's
From that moment
weird.
on, everything changed, and Rick started acting strangely. He started wondering whether I liked anybody. He insisted that we walk to school together and would often just stare at me for long periods of time. It was a difficult time for me, but eventually went off to college and rarely came home. I was able to relax. I once caught Damien stealing underwear from my drawer again. I took him by the ear and told him that since he wasn't my brother, I wouldn't feel sorry for him anymore. At night, when he would be fast asleep, I would also take something very personal from him. To prank him, too. The jerk didn't bother me anymore after that, and my life got better. But then, Rick came home for winter break. I woke up from someone breathing on me. It was Rick, and he was sitting on my bed. I got really scared, but he shushed me and told me to follow him. There was an old Honda outside. He bragged about how he had been saving up for a long time to buy it, and that the next day he would take me for a ride. I wondered why he would waste time on me, when there were plenty of girls to dote on him. But Rick told me that he had missed me and kissed me on the cheek. I hoped that he had missed me like a brother, but I knew that he meant something completely different. So again, just in case, I went to bed right in my clothes and couldn't sleep until morning. The next day, we went for a drive. It seemed like Rick had matured and changed over the last few months. He told me that he had known since he was a kid that I had come from an orphanage, so he couldn't possibly love me like just a sister. He was ashamed that he had been so rude to me. Then he just drove me home. Throughout his entire school break, we talked a lot as friends. I was even jealous when he went on a date with a girl. And, of course,
God dang ads.
I scolded myself for even thinking such thoughts. Before he left, Rick woke me up again at night and laid down next to me. He was silent for a long time, and then he told me that he had liked me for a long time, and if I didn't mind, he would come every weekend to see me. All week, I caught myself thinking about him, and when he would arrive, we'd spend the whole weekend together. So our secret friendship began, which grew into more. Feelings just appeared by themselves, and we both couldn't understand how we didn't notice how much we had in common before, and that we could have had fun spending time together. Even though we were of age, we couldn't tell anyone about us. Mom and Dad wouldn't understand. For them, we were brother and sister, and it didn't matter that we weren't even related and had never experienced a sibling bond. At night, when Damien had fallen asleep, Rick would lay down with me. We could chat and kiss all night. In the morning, Rick would go to his room.
Weird.
But one day, we fell asleep. We woke up from screaming and shrieking. Damien saw us sleeping and called our parents in.
No.
We both got laid into by our mother, and then they put us in different corners of the room and lectured us for a long time. And they called us various offensive words. I spent the next night on the couch in the living room because it was obvious to my mother that it was me who was the bad influence and who they had enabled. The next morning, my parents decided that they would send me to my aunt's house without even allowing me to finish the last month of school at home. I cried and begged my mother to let me stay. Rick asked too. I tried to explain to them that we loved each other and there was nothing wrong with that. We couldn't change it. But my mother sent him upstairs and forbade him from even coming down to the table. I packed my suitcase, and that night, when everyone was asleep, left the house. Rick got out through a window, and we drove to nowhere together. For several years now, we have been living in another city. Our parents tried to get us back and end our relationship, but we've stayed together. I never finished school and got a job as a waitress. Rick continues to
Get a medium or large drink from Taco Bell and enter your code for a chance to win the all-new Xbox Series X.
Escape to the world of anime with the Funimation app in both subs and dubs. You can
to study and works at a car wash. I will definitely finish my studies and do the same. Rick even sold his car to help me with my education. I'm 21 now, and he is 23. Of course, it's difficult for us, but we support each other. We're glad that we can be together. That's our story.
I mean, you're not related, so, I mean, it's hard to explain. You're not related, but you're in a way still siblings, kind of. Not really, but okay.
One day, I needed to buy something for dinner. It was much easier when my parents did the grocery shopping. Independent life is overrated. Okay, what do we have here? Cereal, macaroni and cheese, soda. I'm not getting candy. That's too much. Damn, it happened again. Please, no. I need to check your pockets, ma'am. No, watch the cameras if you have to. Okay, let's watch them together. We went into a small room with a bunch of screens. The guard pressed a couple of buttons and I saw myself on the screen. I was walking past the candy shelf, grabbing some with my left hand and putting them in my pockets. I knew it was happening again. How embarrassing! I put my hand in my pocket and pulled out the candy. Oh, what a night! Let me tell you about myself. My name is Laura. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Queens, and I'm known in many local stores. But I'm not a thief. I always pay for my purchases. It's just, it happens on its own. It's hard to explain, but you'll understand after you hear it. 2 days after that incident, I was out for a walk and ran into a guy I went to high school with. He was very handsome. I thought he wouldn't recognize me and just pass me by, but that's not what happened. I felt like the heroine of a romantic film. I probably looked stupid, but I just couldn't help but smile. Dylan smiled. I wasn't a schoolgirl anymore. I decided to take a chance and ask him out. Why not? Listen, if you're free, maybe we could, oh, I didn't expect you to be so outgoing. What? I just wanted to invite you to the movies. I'm sorry. I just thought it just slipped out. So clumsy. It was awkward, but Dylan seemed to like it. I was relieved. I was excited, too, because we had agreed to meet that night. Oh, I've been dreaming about this date for so long. It would be perfect. I had to try. The movie started. I scooted closer to Dylan. My plan was to snuggle up to him when it got scary. I was a little nervous. Oh no, not now. I decided to quickly cling to Dylan so that he wouldn't suspect me. My plan worked. He hugged me back. Hey, I get that you're turned on, but there are people here. If you want, I can get away from you. I'm talking about your hand on my pants. You are something else, Laura. Can I have my soda? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. What is wrong with you? Dylan walked out. I ran after him. I was so embarrassed by how I was behaving. I had to explain.
That sucks.
I didn't want to do this. Sorry. I'm sick. And I just can't control it. I wanted to tell him everything, but suddenly I felt so offended. I saw how angry Dylan was. At that moment, I knew he wasn't going to understand me. And just ran away. It's time to tell you everything. When I was a kid, I fell off a carousel on Coney Island and hit my head. Hard. I recovered, but since then, my left hand has been living its own life. I just can't control it, especially when I'm worried. I have to avoid stress. Doctors call it alien hand syndrome. Because of this, my life is full of these kinds of hand was only stealing food. It just loves molesting people. I can't even count how many guys I've touched. It was like another person had moved in and hated me. When I do my hair, my left hand ruffles it up. When I button my buttons with my right hand, the left hand unbuttons them. When I get myself a chair, my left hand pushes it away. Oh, and my father is the only person it hates more than me. It once took a trimmer and cut off his hair. Because of stress, I had a relapse. It was terrible. I thought someone had snuck into my house and attacked me. I don't even know if I feel relieved that it was my own hand. Do I need to handcuff you again for the night? For a second, I thought about what Dylan would say if he saw handcuffs in my bedroom. After all that my hand did, the thought made me smile for the first time that day. But then I remembered that we had broken up, and I got sad again. That night, there was a knock on my door. Who could it be? Dylan? My hand and I were very surprised. I quickly ran to open the door because I needed to apologize to him. I'm sorry that my hand accosted you on our first date. I told him everything, and I was worried in vain because Dylan really understood. It turned out that he had Googled the information from the card that I had given him all night. We decided to give each other a second chance. I had a great movie collection at home. This time, we chose comedy. Oh, sorry. It's very jealous. Then I have to decide which one of you I choose. Hey, that's not fair. Oh, our relationship will definitely not be easy. But I am very grateful that Dylan has agreed to go through this with me. I'm glad that I was able to share my funny story with you. Thank you for listening.
Hey, I'm Talon, and this is Rumpus, and I'm going to show you how to start an online teacher business.
So, those were interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. And if you guys did like the video, make sure to like it, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Peace.